Welcome back. Ahead of the reopening of schools in September, officials of the Ministry of Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology and Vocational Training have embarked on an assessment to ensure that all is in place to facilitate the start of the new academic year. Recently, the minister, along with a technical team, visited various schools across the island to get a first-hand look.
With schools slated to open on September 6, the Ministry of Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology, and Vocational Training is making sure that all is in place for that reopening and that students are met with a conducive environment to learn and feel safe. As is customary, remedial rehabilitation works do take place during the summer months to ensure that students are met with such an environment. During a recent visit to schools across the island, the Minister, Sean Edward, assured stakeholders that the works being undertaken are satisfactory.
The contractors who are currently working for us in the various schools were chosen by my predecessor, and in consultation with the Prime Minister, we've taken a decision that we are not changing the contractors. We are working with everybody who has been engaged, and only in instances where contractors have indicated that they're unable to execute the works, we will consider replacements. But for now, I am satisfied and comfortable with the individuals who have been chosen, and it is my intention to give them all the support that they need. And the Prime Minister has made it a point that as we embark on this new journey as a government, as much as possible, we must embrace the whole notion of inclusion to ensure that the most competent people get to do the work that are needed.
With the present threat of the Delta variant of COVID-19, the minister says that all is being done to ensure that schools can open in the safest way possible.
It's no secret that there is a spike in the number of COVID cases being recorded. And as the agency of government charged with with responsibility for the well-being of students, obviously at the Ministry of Education we will have a vested interest in what is happening. We're monitoring the situation very closely. We have been working in consultation and collaboration with the Ministry of Health, and whatever decision we arrive at after thorough discussions with personnel from the Ministry of Health, I can assure you will be down to the benefit of our children.
As for the continuation of introducing smart devices in the classroom, the minister is committed to that effort.
It was the St. Lucia Labour Party administration that introduced the laptop program, and that was after realizing a need to incorporate technology in lesson delivery and in modernizing the education system as a whole. We have no aversion to the continuation of that particular program, but obviously there are some aspects of it that we would want to review, and we want to do that as quickly as possible to ensure that we do not delay in the execution of our overall plan for the ensuing academic year.
He says the payment of facilities fees for students by government is on stream. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
The Ministry of Health has attributed the spike in COVID-19 cases being seen to increased social activity during the election season. As a number of active cases continue to increase, do the island's leaders believe a different mode of campaigning should have been used?
St. Lucia continues to see a steady rise in the number of COVID-19 cases being recorded on a daily basis. On August 16th, the island recorded 109 new cases of COVID-19, taking the total number of active cases to 809 and the total number of cases recorded on island thus far to 6,475. The Ministry of Health has attributed the current spike to the increase in social activity during the election campaign. In hindsight, is there any regret in the manner in which the election season was handled? Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre has assured that he will do what it takes to recover from the current situation.
Well, all our meetings were held virtually, and we tried our best. But what's important now is we're doing what we have to do, following the science to bring the cases down.
The SLP administration has been criticized for being too lenient with the enforcement of COVID-19 protocol. Prime Minister Pierre explained that a change in the approach to dealing with the pandemic was needed and is positive that the changes will be effective.
We believe that people have the common sense and people know what is good for themselves. We're not in the business of bullragging. We're not in the business of intimidating people. We're in the business of allowing people to be responsible, and the government's approach is to make people take responsibility for themselves, and I'm sure it's going to work. So the police still have to enforce the law.
So if people are caught breaching the protocols?
Still have to enforce the law. Next week, we're going to come to Parliament with changing. You see, what you have to do, when the people of St. Lucia voted for the government, they voted for a change. We want to change of attitude. The top-down situation will not work. We want to talk to people, we respect people, and we believe in people, and we're sure that the people of St. Lucia will understand, and very soon, with the measures taking place and following the science, the numbers will come down.
Opposition MP Bradley Felix, on the other hand, explained that the spike was inevitable, given the hype that usually accompanies election season.
Well, it was something that was always spoken about. I think that's one of the reasons why the past Prime Minister also delayed the elections, as he indicated. He had a concern with regards to the increase in cases, but the elections had to be held eventually. And you know, as much as we would have wanted the whole euphoria with campaigning to be on a down low, we could not have avoided the excitement that comes with it. So it was definitely going to be a precursor to the spikes that we see now.
He says for the most part, he believes that the UWP during their campaigning advocated for protocols to be adhered to. Felix explained that members of the government need to continue ensuring that they do their part in encouraging the public to adhere to the protocols.
At least from our party, I know every activity we had, we did encourage people to wear their masks. But, again, sometimes, some people need a little more encouragement. So even now, one of the things we want to encourage people is to wear your mask, because we have heard the Delta variant is extremely contagious, and as members of Parliament, I think each and every one of us have our role to play to ensure that we encourage people to follow the protocols.
Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzalez.
A planned rally to commemorate the birthday of the late Jamaican prophet Marcus Garvey has been postponed. The event, which was scheduled to take place in Castries on Tuesday, the 17th of August, was organized by the Nyabinghi Order Churchill Foundation. However, in a statement sent out by the organization, it was revealed that the rally did not receive the approval needed due to the spike in COVID-19 cases. The activity was in collaboration with the following institutions: the St. Lucia Archaeological and Historical Society, the Holy Trinity Anglican Church, and the Ironola Council for the Advancement of Rastafari. The organizers have asked would-be attendees to occupy themselves in meaningful activities which will reflect the advancement of goals, aspirations, and objectives of Africa and Africans home and abroad. This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Stay with us.